The grade 8 breaks his scoreless drought.
But it's the Caniacs who play Maniac, now just one win away from clipping the Caps.
Plus, the Oilers bounce back in a big way on home ice.
We've got those stories and so much more on this Monday night Stanley Cup playoff edition of Locked On NHL Game Night.
When that final horn sounds, you know it's time for Locked On NHL Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. Prepare to experience game day reactions like never before, only on Locked On NHL Game Night. Your team every day.
Hello there, hockey fans. Welcome to another episode of Locked On NHL Game Night, the one stop for the true fans. I'm Cam Stewart, a sad Boston Bruins fan on the third coast.
Booyah. Tough night up in Boston.
Tough night. We're not here for that, Tyler. We're not here for that.
No, we
Thank
are.
God.
I'm Tyler Feldman, a lifelong Penguins fan, born and raised in Pittsburgh, but currently loving life in Austin, Texas. Cam, tough night for your Celtics. Another great night, though, here in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. A pair of commanding home ice victories.
Yeah, Tyler, no need to stay up later than we normally do tonight. Canes beat the Caps 5-2. Oilers handled the Knights 3-0. That was a big bounce back win. Let's actually send you out to Alberta. The Oilers fans, they started out the night nervous. They ended the night quite raucous. And actually, pretty quickly, they became raucous because a minute 33 into the game, old man Adam Henrique on the centering pass after the turnover behind the net. 1-0 Oil, just 1:33 in. And then we got a bunch of fireworks early on in this game. How about the first fight of the postseason? Nick Hague and Trent Frederik, former Bruin Trent Frederik, really punching above his weight, literally there.
Cam, can I just say about
please.
that? Let's talk about this right now, because playing hockey, watching hockey religiously growing up, get the helmet off. If I see more than 5 punches with the helmet still on, every time I'm like, what are you doing? And it was from both sides. Helmets were still on at the end. They were both exhausted. But those hands, figure out a way to get the helmet off, because you're just punching a plastic.
Yeah,
Makes
it's
sense to me.
I feel like the plastic's not really helping you in that scenario, right? A puck rides up, that's helping you. But like in a fight, how much is that really helping? You know?
It drives me nuts.
This is fighting, I guess, in 2025. We will take what we can get as the first fighting major in the postseason. And then the fireworks do not stop there, because there's this weird play where Matthias Janmark comes in and he trips Adin Hill. I'm going to put that in air quotes. Okay, he gets a penalty out of it. This is where the fight is born out of. He gets a roughing penalty. Vegas goes in the power play, but on video review, Adin Hill clearly sticks his leg out so that Tristan Janmark, Janmark can trip him.
You know what? And they were talking about that on the national broadcast on TNT. They kept saying that the leg was kicked out.
Come on,
it was super subtle.
Art of subtlety, man. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He wants to get tripped there. He wants some fireworks,
and that's fine. But it was just, get over it. It was so subtle. I barely saw any kicking motion. No reason that should. Whatever. Let's continue.
I mean, we know the goaltenders like the theatrics, Tyler. We know the goalies are gonna sniper in the building.
TNT. We know drama. I know what the job is expected of on that station, on that channel. To me, it was overblown. It was an overblown leg sticks out situation. That's how I feel. You could disagree. Let us know in the comments, but that's how I feel. Plain and simple. And if you do comment, it's Cam who always responds. I want people to know that. Cam has to start signing. I need Cam to start signing his name at the end so people know it's not me responding.
I like getting in the mud, getting that engagement. And so this pops off, right? Like, and you think we're done there. Adam Henrique scores again. 13 minutes in the game. Yeah, nice little between the legs play.
Tasty.
As soon as the puck goes in, Evander Kane is barreling into Adin Hill. Now it looks like he does get pushed a little bit by McNabb, but he flies into Adin Hill, whom takes exception, and McNabb, who's just kind of pushed him in there, is also like, "Hey, man!" They all rush to the corner, and it pops off again. This thing had all kinds of teeth in the first period, and it kind of settles down after that. We get. I mean, really.
First period was up here. It was top of the mountain energy wise, physicality wise. Rest of the game, you were just little denouement.
And the only real excitement you get after that is about 8 minutes into the second period, 2-on-1. Evander Kane, who trucks over Adin Hill. He was involved in everything. Every shift he had in this game was loud. He scores right through the 5-hole. Bad goal for Adin Hill to give up. Evander Kane is like taking charge of this series. He's like, "Yo no soy marinero, soy capitan." That's from Richie Valens. It's from La Bamba. Tyler, I don't know if you know that. They love doing that. Fourth goal. I
appreciate you educating me in the audience.
This is what I do. Fourth goal of the playoffs after not playing a game in the regular season. 3-0 Edmonton. It's absolutely coast clear after that. Stuart Skinner back in. Everybody in Edmonton biting their fingernails every time he's in net. All he does is get a playoff shutout. And now the Oilers 1 win away from eliminating the Vegas Golden Knights. They just keep on plugging away, Tyler. I mean, what a bounce back win for the Oil.
Stuart Skinner. You've got to be kidding me. The way he played tonight. Now, granted, he only had to make 23 saves. So, second straight start. Finally gets a win. And he's been brutal in these playoffs. He won 14 playoffs games a year ago, and he's just been brutal this season. Coming into this game tonight, he was 0-3 with a 5.36 goals against average and a .817 save percentage. So to stop all 23 shots, again, wasn't tested in a pushy way. He had a pretty simple night, but again, simple night, still made every single stop that he needed to. A shutout. Gets his first win of the playoffs this season. That's big for the Oilers. You go back to that first series, the big question mark for this Edmonton team was goaltending. And you add in a healthy Evander Kane, who you said, again, didn't play a single game in the regular season, and he's suddenly become a huge impact player, a dominant force for these Oilers, a guy that can kind of electrify things on both ends of the ice. Edmonton, 1 win away from the Western Conference Final. If they play like this again, like they did tonight, watch out.
And you do it with Henrique, and Kane, not a point between McDavid or Draisaitl tonight, and they still get the victory.
Wait, McDavid did have an assist, right?
Did he? I thought that was
because I think I did hear it was his 8th straight game.
That is right. That is right.
I think he got a secondary assist.
Yes, he got a secondary one
on one of the goals.
I think it. Actually, I don't want to speculate now because
it was the third. It was Kane's goal.
I was thinking it was the Kane goal. Yes,
it was Kane's goal. It's in my notes here. It's in my notes. All right.
That's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But now Vegas, one of the favorites to win the cup, is now pushed to the brink as they head back to the desert for Game 5. Chris Golick of Locked On Golden Knights broke it down. He said if Vegas fixes these things, they will stave off elimination.
Outcoached, outplayed, out-goaltended. The peanut vendor was better. The parking attendants were better. The concession salespeople were better. Edmonton came out to play and just put the Vegas Golden Knights on the brink of elimination. Chris Golick Locked On Vegas Golden Knights here. Golden Knights now trail the Edmonton Oilers 3-1 in the best of 7. And welcome to Clicheville. Myself and Tony Cordasco will cover what is left of this series. Hopefully 3 more games, but it all starts with a very important Game 5 on Wednesday night. Check out Locked On Vegas Golden Knights podcast on YouTube and anywhere you catch your podcasts. Your team every day.
Okay, so a few things to fix for VGK.
They were quiet. This is a team that you and I both were really high on. The depth of this Vegas Golden Knights squad, their experience. They came in with a lot of heat into these playoffs. Tonight seemingly felt like they were throwing in the white towel. Only 23 shots on net. The physicality was there in the first period, but the last two periods, the final 40 minutes in this game, Vegas was lesser than the peanut vendors, according to Chris.
I mean, they
I
did.
don't
They
know.
looked like the third best team in the game.
I don't know if I would go that far. Maybe I don't know how the Peanuts are up there in Edmonton, but
Apparently.
I haven't heard anything bad about them, so that could be true. They were quiet. It was tough to see. If you're a Vegas fan, what in the world? A lot of things need to change. Where's the pressure offensively? Where's the puck movement? Where's the power play? There was just nothing in this. Aiden Hill, I just didn't. That third goal through the 5-hole. Hey, nice shot. A little bit of traffic in front with the defenseman. Not a goal you can give up.
No,
it just can't happen. So the way in which Vegas won that game over the weekend at the buzzer, that ridiculous game, my big question coming in tonight was, how would Edmonton bounce back? Well, they played like they lost a game that they felt like they should have won. On the other hand, Vegas, ghostly, quiet, disappearing act.
Yeah.
You see a lot of that in Vegas, a lot of magic tricks, a lot of disappearing. And that's what happened tonight up in Canada.
That's good. And on the flip side, the Oilers looked like a championship team again. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go and win the cup, but they look like that, especially with the way they
sounds like that's what you're saying.
I'm pretty close to saying it, Tyler. I am pretty close to saying it. One team I'm pretty close to counting out, Washington Capitals. They really needed a bounce back in a big way in Carolina. Very tough place to play. I don't think they exactly got it. Let's talk about that next on Locked On NHL Game Night.
But first, let's talk about my favorite, the wonderful Pistachios. If you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, I recommend cracking into a good source of protein with wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts you can find. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you more than 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. Look, you've heard me say this before, but I love the no shells variety. I'm a clean eater. I like my fingers clean. That's just how I do it. It's the perfect grab-and-go snack for busy days as a result, because whether I'm snacking at my desk, on a road trip, or just need a quick protein boost, they are always my go-to, and they're clean to eat. However, if you do enjoy cracking open every show, some people do, maybe Cam, for that satisfying crunch, the in-show option is a good choice too. So get snacking, get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Locked On NHL Game Night alongside Tyler Feldman. I'm Cam Stewart. Speaking of nuts, that's what it's like in Raleigh when it comes to playoff time for the Carolina Hurricanes. Tyler, I know you've seen that firsthand. It was definitely no different in this game tonight. Carolina with a chance to go up 3-1 in the series against the number 1 seed in the East, the Washington Capitals. And they made sure to leave no doubt about it. 10.5 minutes into the game, Shane Gostisbehere, Union College legend, keeps it in at the line, nice little stick work, and then scores from the point. And then this is really where Carolina took control. They committed a double minor towards the end of the first period that carried over into the second. They killed it off, and right after it, Sebastian Aho's shot, Logan Thompson makes the save, doesn't know where it goes. Seth Jarvis on the rebound, 2-0. Few minutes after that, Jacob Chikrin off a nice feed with a wide open net. He makes it 2-1. And then there was no response thereafter from Washington. Few minutes after that, long stretch pass. Jack Roslovich made it. Taylor Hall on the breakaway, aging like fine wine. Maybe that says they won the Rantanen deal. He gets the goal. Stankoven and Hall both there. Hall makes it 3-1. And the Caps do get it to 3-2. Ovechkin scores his first goal of the series. I think first point of the series, but I've been wrong on the point thing already in this show. But it was that
his first goal, which is shocking. And you could see his frustration earlier in the night prior to him scoring. But yeah, maybe that's big. They got it on the 5-on-3 too, which is important. They got it early on that 5-on-3. So you thought, maybe the Caps pull even closer. Not the case.
And if you didn't watch the game, I'll give you two guesses as to where Ovechkin was when he scored that goal, but you'll only need one. And then after that, Sean Walker, a little 3-on-1, stops, pops, first career playoff goal. It's 4-2. Svechnikov gets into the empty net. And Carolina up 3-1 on the mighty Washington Capitals, showing that they are the battle-tested playoff team. Zach Martin of Locked On Hurricanes is ready to celebrate.
The Carolina Hurricanes take a 3-1 series lead, putting a stranglehold on the Washington Capitals, following a 5-2 win in Game 4 on Monday night. And what an absolute performance it was for the Hurricanes. Frederik Andersen stands tall, only gives up 2 goals in this game. Sean Walker gets his first career playoff goal. You love to see it. Taylor Hall scores as well. Andrei Svechnikov with his team-leading 7th of the playoffs. Seth Jarvis gets in on the action. Just an overall great performance. Bend but don't break for this team. The Capitals got within one twice. Hurricanes were able to score right away, and now they ice it with the empty netter from Svechnikov. Now they're up 3-1 in the series. Game 5 on Thursday in Washington. Can they close it out for another 5-game series? A lot of pressures on the Capitals, but if you're the Carolina Hurricanes, you are feeling really good now after taking a big win at the Lenovo Center.
So this is an interesting one, Tyler. Like, obviously we've been pretty impressed with the Canes, but there's not like one thing you point to. There's not like this Mikko Rantanen superstar that's carrying them. It doesn't even feel like there's one facet of their game that they're dominating in. They've just been so solid throughout. Everything they're doing is working in Carolina.
It's like a very talented, smooth-sounding orchestra. All the different instruments just
Kinda
coming
like our
together to make the magic. People paying tickets to see that. And I want to get to this big point because I don't think it's talked about enough, Cam. The Carolina Hurricanes, over the last 7 seasons, have become a tough team to beat at home in the Stanley Cup playoffs. This has been a slow climb. This Carolina organization in Raleigh, North Carolina, in the South, kind of, playing hockey, ice hockey, in warm weather. And we're seeing this with the Dallas Stars too. But the Carolina Hurricanes are dominant at home. With tonight's win, they are now 5-0 in the playoffs on their home ice, the Lenovo Center. That's what the arena is called now. During the regular season, they tied a franchise record with 31 wins at home. They were 31-9-1 on their home ice. Over the last 7 seasons, they are 31-13 at home during the playoffs and just 14-25 on the road. Carolina, under Rod Brind'Amour, this team is a tough out, especially on home ice. And the Washington Capitals, they are finding that out yet again here in this second round series because, like you said, Cam, you can't really pinpoint one area, but the Canes, it seems like they're getting stronger the more they play and the deeper they get in this playoffs because that was my big takeaway from tonight. Don't mess with the Carolina Hurricanes on home ice because they are tough to beat. Yeah. Heck, on that Taylor Hall goal, it was just a heads-up play. And that was really the separating factor. Ovechkin actually, it hit off of Slavin's body in some capacity and went past Freddie Andersen. Freddie Andersen, another big night, stopping 19 of 21 shots. I mean, that guy's been fantastic as well. He's been stonewalled in this series. He's allowed just 3 goals going into tonight on 55 shots. Into this game, he had a .99 goals against average and .945 save percentage. Again, like you said, every area is just working. It's clicking. Gostisbehere keeping that puck inside the blue line on that first goal and figuring out how to score midway through that first period. Just, again, everything's clicking for Carolina. I would not be shocked if they beat Washington in Game 5 on the road in advance to the Eastern Conference Final.
And to be fair, you said that after Game 2, which I think Washington even the series, and you said this is the one I'm picking the upset for. And they've been really tough to play at home. I know it's not like one of the premier fan bases in the NHL, but you've seen it at playoff time. Like they get the tailgating going, and it's a loud barn.
I would say in Raleigh, in Carolina, that is a hockey town. It's just not talked about enough nationally. So that's why
because they don't have any other sports and like pro sports there.
Well, they're in the triangle. So
Yeah,
again, in that
Panthers.
area, you've got UNC, you've got NC State,
In Raleigh. Yep.
Carter Finley Stadium is right next to the Lenovo Center. That's right where the university's at, all their athletic facilities. And you've also got Duke right in that triangle area. And right there is a professional hockey team, the Carolina Hurricanes.
Something they can all actually get on board with together.
Well, the environment, there's a reason they're so dominant at home. That environment is crazy. The fans that are there supporting that team over the past 2+ decades, it's been building up to this point. Yeah. They've got a special thing going there. Would not be shocked, Game 5, if Carolina wins it on the road and advances.
And meanwhile, you've got a team going through a dream season that's right on the brink here with all the Ovechkin stuff and the 50th anniversary and having a bounce back year. Dan Holme of Locked On Caps breaks down how this has gone wrong so far in this series and what Washington needs to do to stay alive.
Another slow start sinks the Capitals in Game 4. Hi, this is Dan Holme of Locked On Capitals. Well, the Caps were hoping for a bounce-back win in Game number 4, but they fall 5-2 and now face elimination on Thursday night. The Caps can't cash in early on power play chances, and the offense struggles. The Capitals just cannot string together. There's no crisp passing, no tape-to-tape passing. It was just all sorts of ugly out there. Later in the game, though, a third-period spark. Matt Roy finds Jacob Chikrin wide open, and the Capitals pull within one. That was the moment I thought maybe the Capitals could ultimately do it, but that wasn't the case. Taylor Hall answers with a breakaway goal. And Alex Ovechkin, who has been silent in the second round, scores a classic one-timer. And the feeling was maybe the Capitals have what it takes to win this game, but ultimately the momentum favored the Hurricanes. And now the Capitals are up against it. They must win on Thursday, or everything that they've worked for all season is over. I'll have much more on this for you later on Locked On Caps.
So the Canes and the Oilers both have a chance to end this series in 5 games and advance to the conference final. Coming up next on Locked On NHL Game Night, we will tell you which one has the better chance of doing just that. Back here on Locked On NHL Game Night, Tyler Feldman. I'm Cam Stewart. Tyler, let's go with that question that we teased. Now we got 2 teams up 3-1, can end this series, the second round for them pretty quickly here on Wednesday night. They will both have a chance to win it in 5, but who has the better chance in your mind to get this done and dusted in Game 5?
Cam, I touched on this just a few minutes ago. Carolina, for me, is the team that has the best chance. Carolina, get this, has never lost a series after taking a 3-1 lead. So history is on the Carolina Hurricanes side. There is also one more note that I'd like to add from the Canes' 5-2 win tonight over the Capitals. When Jacob Chikrin scored 5 minutes into the second period for Washington to make it a 2-1 lead for Carolina, that snapped Frederik Andersen's shutout streak, which was 5+ periods in 106+ minutes. He's been that dominant. When you have goaltending play like that, this time of the year, you have that confidence between the pipes. That's a different kind of animal. Now, Washington can score the puck, but they've struggled in this series. They just have. Alex Ovechkin, yeah, he got a goal from his classic spot. Nice one-timer. It hit off the body of Slavin and went over the shoulder of Andersen. Maybe they could get it done on home ice, but this seems like classic Washington Capitals hockey this time of year. We've seen them overachieve or achieve what they were expected to achieve in the regular season and then fail to reach those expectations in the playoffs. This is nothing new. No matter if it's 50th year, Ovechkin breaking the scoring record, you throw that all out the window this time of the year. So for me, it's Carolina. Now on the other side, with regards to Vegas, can they push this series to 6-7 games? Possibly. I don't think it's likely the way Edmonton's playing right now, but I think Carolina has the best chance to win in 5 games.
And yeah, I mean, you're right. It's kind of a throwback. Some things, the more they change, the more they stay the same. Washington going out in the second round with the number 1 seed. We have seen that before. We definitely have. And this Edmonton thing, man, I said I'm close to saying it, but these Oilers are absolutely locked in. Like they are. It's so crazy to think of what that team was after 2 games in the first round. We had them done and dusted. Like, that's it. This is the year the Kings finally get over them. They might not even need home ice. And then it was 4 in a row, and then another 2 in a row after that. A crazy buzzer beater loss against Vegas. But that Golden Knights team that we saw was absolutely sleepwalking in this game. And I don't even know that Edmonton was like firing on all cylinders, but they were playing really good, solid hockey, and they saw a team that was vulnerable, that was limping, and they just took them out to pasture. Like, they just got rid of them pretty early in this one.
If you take that crazy buzzer beater loss over the weekend, that's 8 straight wins for Edmonton.
It's nuts, man.
George Laraque was at the game tonight, took his jersey off, apparently getting the crowd fired up. And when you have a former Penguin like George Laraque in the crowd, a big body, a big boy, I love seeing that. When you get some of those old guys coming back into the game to watch as a fan, I'm choking up. I'm choking up just talking about George Laraque.
The memories of George Laraque.
Just the memories in Pittsburgh, man. But yeah, Edmonton, not sleepwalking at all right now. I don't think you could have ever predicted just how Evander Kane's play could catapult this team and re-energize this team in the playoffs. He's been a blast to watch. Obviously running into goalies, but he is putting his body on the line for the Oilers to win hockey games, and it is working for Edmonton.
And like, I know you can't really measure these things, but he does this. It's like hockey guy stuff. He's given them some snarl, man. He really has. He's given them some edge. And this D-core has been tremendous because, again, we talk about a Stuart Skinner shutout in this game, and we both agreed, like, he wasn't spectacular. No. It was good enough to win for sure. But that performance, you're like, oh, he got a shutout out of that. And by the way, it's worth noting, I had in the group chat over the weekend, I had Connor Hellebuck as being back. Okay. He had fought off his demons and he was back and then did not have a good game in Dallas. And here Stuart Skinner is back before Connor Hellebuck. He has fought off the demons. He has a playoff shutout in round 2. I think Stuart Skinner got back before Connor Hellebuck did.
I coach a youth baseball team, Cam. And as the kids would say to me, maybe Stuart Skinner has rediscovered his Riz.
I think that's a good thing.
The Oilers are playing with some serious Riz right now. Serious juice.
I think that's right. Yeah.
That's a scary thing for the rest of the league.
We thought we had him down and out in the regular season, but here come the Oil, baby. 1 win away from the conference finals. I need them to bring out all of the old guys, quote unquote. I need the 06 guys. Where's Fernando Pisani? Okay. Where's Ryan Smith? Where's Sergei Samsonov? One of my all-time favorite Bruins. I need all these 06 guys out here. We've done the Kevin Lowe, we've done the Paul Coffey, we've done all the 80s ones. I need Fernando Pisani out there singing the anthem in one of these games when the Oil really needs
Fernando, where are you? Where are you? Make it happen for Cam. We're here to make Cam happy because his Celtics lost tonight.
Come on.
Which I apologize for bringing that
show.
back up. I know this is a hockey show, but
it's a hockey show.
We need for Fernando to cheer you up.
And I always thought that going into this postseason, I would be saying, Fernando Pisani, save me.
It was on my bingo card, so let me just check this off real quickly. Yes, finally.
There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright.
4 in a row. Right Fernando, next to my square that says Celtics lose, making Cam upset.
Yeah, but you didn't have the Stuart Skinner back before Connor Hellebuck square, and I did.
No, that is all you. I did not have that. Okay.
Oh, all that and so much more was the night that was in the NHL. If Fernando Pisani is listening, we'd love to have him on an episode of Game Night. I'd love him to be up at midnight doing one of these with us. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you know Fernando Pisani, let us know in the comments. And we'll get him
on the show. Let's get him on the show.
Ring that notification bell. You can stay up to date on everything we're doing here on YouTube. And, of course, wherever you get your podcasts as well. We know we have a big listenership as well every day. I want to thank you for making the Locked On Podcast Network part of your daily routine. And remember, you can join us 7 days a week for all the NHL scores and storylines from your local experts. And, yes, the guys like us, Tyler Feldman, Cam Stewart, on Locked On NHL Game Night.